So first up, we've got OrisDx. So we're gonna, no panel up here for this. It's gonna be OrisDx. They'll have 7 minutes to pitch. So Harald Steltzer from OrisDx.
Thank you, everybody. That's a really hard act to follow. I had the pleasure of giving Paul a ride in an Uber in Palm Beach just a couple of months ago, and he talks your ear off with wonderful stories. So let's another round for Paul. Thank you. So, all right. I'm Harald Steltzer with OrisDx. We're built right here in Chicago. It's a partnership from across the Chicago ecosystem. We've been building partners coast to coast as well. We're launching the first molecular diagnostic for head and neck cancer using a salivary DNA rinse that will go to a central laboratory for sequencing. In addition to that, based on our market research, we found an unmet need to actually help navigate the patient from the chair of a dentist's office to the chair of a surgeon's office, and we built that electronic navigator as well. I thought it would help to step back in what I'm keep bumping into. I've spent 30 years in healthcare, life sciences, and diagnostics, and there's been a great evolution in the dental community over the last about 5 years, with the first generation of tests coming out more in the health and wellness area with ELISA and lateral flow-based technologies. You heard of great technology earlier today that's based on brush biopsy. There's PCR testing out there. We learned a lot about that through the COVID experience with regards to risk assessments and disease. And what I represent, our company represents, is that next generation, which is this will never be chairside because it needs to be sent to a central lab, and we're running it on a machine that's about the size of a refrigerator. Medically reimbursed. That was part of the navigation tool that we needed to figure out, was crossing between the two divides. Great team, about a 10-year odyssey for a researcher, a head and neck surgeon out of Johns Hopkins and now at the University of Chicago. We've been systematically building up in Chicago to be able to launch this test in the April timeframe. Huge unmet need. Most people think about the lung cancer and prostate cancer. There's a huge unmet need within the head and neck cancer space, largely because there hasn't been a product yet put into guidelines for either physician or dentist. So one of our friends of the company is Mark Lingen, based here in Chicago, and he explained it like this: Harald, I'm an expert in this space. I've got 40 years of experience, and I can't tell you what oral cancer looks like. He presented me these slides as two cancers. He says that typically out of a room full of the 100 experts, everybody's sitting down by the time they get to the last slide. Why does this matter? This is really the genesis of OrisDx. A couple years ago, it was a publication in the journal Cancer, top-tier oncology journal, where unmatched accuracy with regards to being able to do an ultrasensitive detection of head and neck cancer. So I was mentioning before, our test it comes in a collection box that we send into dental clinics. We do a salivary rinse on site. It can be sent into the home. We send it to a central lab, and then the rest of it's a digital service that we branded as OrisBridge that takes into account clinical analysis, patient education, clinical education, and then we put an agentic AI process in there to automate all the claims adjudication and payment back to us. We did about 400 interviews with the help of Cigna with regards to our dentists interested in a genomic test. Henry Schein was fortunate to test 15,000 of their clients and came back with a very similar data set with that 15% or that 80%. And again, we've got some good input already from the medical and dental insurer community that it's going to be well received. So one of the costs of entry in bringing a molecular diagnostic onto the market is showing that there's an economic return for the evaluation of these tests. We did this over a 10-year time horizon with the help of a group called TTI Research that are well known for doing these types of molecular analyses. What's critical to understand here is the value that we're delivering to payers, which is $923 over that 10-year time period by integrating both the genomic test and the digital and tactile evaluation that dentists and other physicians currently do. We're fortunate to partner with some of the leaders in the space. BioTouch handles all of our distribution capabilities of our kits that can be sent to a distributor, direct to DSO, or into the home. From a physical distribution standpoint, we've partnered with Benco Dental that will launch this nationally over the course of this year, beginning in April with a targeted region of theirs. We've separately been pitched by teledentistry.com on the great unmet need that they're taking in from their clients, which are payers, saying, what do we do after hours? And I'm really concerned about a suspicious lesion in my oral cavity. They're selling, at this conference right now, the Blue Cross Blue Shield and Delta Dentals, and getting early market traction on that piece. And in town, a company called Tempus AI is handling all of our wet lab operations. So we've hired them to actually do the sequencing work. We're doing everything else under our CLIA license. And so one of the challenges for us is to try to figure out how to get these kits into commerce as quickly as possible. So we decided to give it away for free. That doesn't happen with Benco, other distributors as well. So what we wound up doing was working with them on a really clever sales and marketing scheme to be able to pay them based on the number of kits that are activated on their hands by their sales team. And as everybody knows, they're 100% commission-based sell, and they're always looking for the opportunity to have these kinds of new clever products. From a dentist side, there's a code in place to be able to handle the collection, and we'll do all of the billing. Really thrilled to share that we've brought Revere partners, Jeremy, everybody knows Jeremy and CareQuest together. This is their first co-investment. And I heard the challenge last year at this event that they'd never done an investment together, and here it is, an example of one to be done. We have reopened our Series Seed with $750,000 to get 6 months of revenue data in, and because we don't have to pay a sales force, that's what the next round of institutional investors are really looking for, is can we find that demand curve, that traction, and being able to do that. And then we'll launch towards the end of the year, $10 million Series A. So if you're writing small checks, talk to me today. If you want to learn more and write bigger checks, talk to me today as well, and we'll get you into our CRM. Thank you, everybody. And if you want early access to our test, QR code us. 2 seconds.
Thank you, Harald.